the last time. And go ahead and share. So here are notes from last meeting. I've just started to change it for today. Team Drive is done, so I can take that off as a follow-up test. You guys both looked at Team Drive. You could upload, you could do things that you needed to do on Team Drive, correct, Crystal and Jenny?
Yes.
I'm assuming everyone's done that, so I'm going to take that off the list. I do want to establish what our summer meeting schedule is going to be like. Now, the way that's going to work is we're going to hold the meetings. If you're on vacation, you don't need to attend. We'll record the meetings. We just want to make sure, that prior to a meeting, if there's a task or something, just make sure you update the committee as to what's been done, what help you need, all that kind of stuff before you go on your vacation. Does that make sense? Perfect. The other key thing is July 17th, we're all due back, right? Everyone's due back by July 17th from whenever you're going to do your break. By July 17th, I want all of this done. So that on July 17th, we can start to really, as a team, because we're kind of doing these on our own islands, right? So as a team, we can kind of go through all of this, and then the next step in all this is going to be, okay, how do we set this up for everyone to access? What kind of trainings are we going to need to be doing? Who's going to be involved in the training? So that'll come after we have everything together, right? Because we will need to then go out, divide and conquer, however that looks, to provide some of the trainings, right? For the other advisor teams. The good news is if you're on K5, you won't have to do the trainings, but what we do want to do is make sure that the teachers understand as well, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that. So does that make sense? So if you're scheduled to leave for vacation, and let's say you're the last week of June through July 17th, I don't know if that math works out or not, but just make sure before you leave, if you're not due back until the 17th, you have everything uploaded and finalized before you leave. Make sense to everybody?
Yeah, so just make sure you're working on your own tasks when you're here.
Correct. So then my next question is, if we were going to establish regular meetings, I mean, our other group is doing just once a week kind of check-ins, see what's going on. If you're here, great. If you're not, I think they'll morph into being a little bit quicker on the meeting front. We can even have some people showing some of the stuff that's completed during those meetings, but we have a once a week. It's going to be on Wednesdays for the other committee. Would you guys be willing on Thursdays to just have a regular weekly Thursday meeting? If you're here, great. If not, not a big deal. Does that sound okay to you guys?
We could do Thursday, but that would mean we would completely miss that first week of July because July 4th is on.
Oh, you know what? We won't have meetings at least that first week of July because of July 4th. It doesn't make sense to have meetings that day. So we probably won't be setting a meeting up that week anyhow. And I'm going to be taking vacation too. So that doesn't mean that the team can't meet, but what we may need to do is Dacia and I need to coordinate, or CJ and I coordinate, because I think I'm taking off the last week of June, first week of July, are my 2 weeks that I'm trying to take off. So either we don't have any meetings those 2 weeks, or if Dacia's in, maybe Dacia holds the meeting. I mean, we can kind of figure out that and play that by year.
Would it be okay that maybe we table that for a minute and look at that sheet to see if Wednesdays or Thursdays are more consistent with all of us being here?
It's a great idea.
You know what I mean? And I'm happy to do that.
It's a great idea.
Send an email. I'll look at it when we're done here, and I'll just send an email, and then you can set up
That's totally fine. Yeah. Do you want to do that, or we can look at it together? But
I will do it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. Just send out what looks like to be the most consistent day for a meeting. Keep in mind, though, Wednesdays. I don't think we settled on a time. Did we, Dacia or CJ? Correct my memory. I don't know if we settled on a time for our regular Get Ready to Connect meetings.
We did not set a time for that. We have the other 11 to 1, but not the Get Ready.
What 11 to 1? What 11 to 1? I'm sorry. Oh, that's next week. I meant consistently. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, so I would say stay clear of Wednesday mornings would be the only thing, because we will probably have some regular Wednesday schedule, is what I'm thinking.
And Jenny, we have to also, in CJ, we have to make sure that we don't clash with our reading clubs too.
That's absolutely a very valid point. Didn't even think about that.
I had already thought about
What
that.
about Mary Rose? Because she's in the, I forget what
she's doing elementary.
Our,
go ahead, Jenny.
I'm just going to say our book clubs are consistently Thursday mornings.
Let's stay clear of Thursdays then.
And the 13th.
Yeah, let's just stay clear of Thursdays for anything for you guys. Because you are...
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
So let's try for Wednesday afternoon, but again, I will glance.
I could share the calendar, but it's all posted publicly. Tuesdays and Thursday mornings are busy for the book club.
Well, and Daisha, CJ, you guys are with me. We're going to be at all these meetings, right? So we're scheduled for all of them. Would it be better for you all to have one day where we just have kind of these meetings all day long and check-ins?
That would be my vote. I'm a rip the Band-Aid off at once kind of person. I was about to say duct tape, but we're being recorded. So...
Okay. There's one other thing that we're doing on Wednesdays, so we might move off of Wednesdays, but it would be an all-day kind of adventure. We are going to be scheduling some other trainings on Wednesdays that the team is going to be providing to everybody. So I'll figure that out. We can either look at Wednesdays or we can look at another day. So I'll figure it out. Just, Jenny, if you could say between Monday, Wednesday, Friday, what's the most consistent day for the bulk of this team?
Okay.
Keeping in mind, Bonnie's also here, so Bonnie's going to need mornings.
Okay.
So Bonnie will need mornings, and vacations are vacations. We won't worry about trying to schedule in vacations for everybody. That doesn't make sense.
Okay.
All right?
Sounds good.
All right, cool. So then as soon as you get me that, I'll try to schedule that through whenever, and then we'll take into account if I'm not going to be able to host it, who's going to host it, or if we just don't have it during that time, so we'll figure that out.
Okay.
So Jenny to send me consistent dates, consistent weekly, because it would be, I think it would be good to, are you guys okay doing a weekly meeting?
That should be fine.
Okay. All right.
We may not have a whole lot to give you if we've been on vacation, but you know, we'll all have something at some point.
Yeah. I don't know what this was. This was
they already did that.
What was that? I don't remember what that was. It was a very good note because I have no idea what we're supposed to do.
They just gave me some teachers' names to reach out to for my information, which is the next one, to ask about what Class Connect participation looks like.
Okay. So you're still following up on that,
No,
correct?
I've already completed that.
Oh, look at that. We are
Good
so
job,
freaking good. Just kidding.
Thank you.
So everyone started working. Okay. So, all right. So the rest of this is, let's just go down. So the excellent attendance and engagement habits. I got to tell you, this is going to trickle down into everything at this point. We are going to, through our Strong Start, through everything, I'm trying to message it out to teachers. Jenny and I just talked about it when we met about sales. So we're always talking about what does excellent attendance and engagement look like. So just to be clear, that's going to go through everything. So Daisha and Bonnie, you are going to do, this is kind of strange the way this is all on here. I think learning coach student, this is all, you're doing all of the above. Is that correct?
The what do I do daily, we've started on with the video. The learning coach checklist started pulling information. The other websites, I don't know that we have started.
Would that be something that's being done with a bookmark this?
Maybe, yes. That would definitely go exactly with that. That one somehow was not on my radar.
I don't know how it might be that Lizzie messed up. Shh, don't tell.
And I saw in one of the correspondences with a teacher, I think she was a high school teacher, I will send it to you guys, but there were some other websites that she mentioned that I had never even heard of.
So is that her own personal decision?
I don't know.
Or is that school-wide decisions? Because sometimes we teachers just decide, oh yeah, this is a good one.
Okay.
So.
I don't know.
Yeah,
You can follow up on that.
Okay.
This looks almost exactly verbatim what we were doing in the
I
other
think this
meeting.
is part of bookmark
Bookmark
this, which is Robert's doing that, right? I'm pretty sure Robert was doing that.
Yep, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. What we may need to do is just tweak. If there's additional things we need to look at, we could do that. But I really think it becomes part of bookmark this.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, and what that is, because you guys haven't heard of that since we're kind of on our own island, the other team, summer committee, is creating a video to show families how to bookmark a site, right? Because sometimes families don't know how to bookmark something. So they're putting together a tutorial on how to create bookmarks. And then it'll be either a handout and or a video, could be both, that shows the key websites that you want to make sure you bookmark to be successful. So it'll have, I'm thinking it's going to be a website, a handout of these are the websites to bookmark, as well as probably and potentially a tutorial video that shows them how to bookmark the sites too. So yeah, that should become part of that, I think. Do you guys all agree with that? If there's any that we need to add in, once we see that from Robert, we'll go ahead and just make sure we add in other sites. So Daisha, as you and Bonnie are exploring this, and you would be the key person, as we see from the other team what's being put into this, let's just make sure we're not missing any for the Get Set for Success. I don't think we will be, but they should all be very, very
Perfect.
related. Make sense? Okay, so you're all up and running. We don't need to worry about anything on that one. Bonnie and Daisha are the next one, getting ready for your courses. We were talking, a lot of this is in K-12, right? Where we've got a lot of that content, getting ready for courses?
Yes, and it it kind of goes hand in hand with the one above, the
that's what I thought.
Learning Coach
Excellent.
checklist.
Yeah, okay.
Because there's that, the Learning Coach student checklist. We were working on an infographic that makes it easy for them to see what they need at a glance, and then presentation, because that would be something that we would
This
go
should
through
be a
live.
part of a presentation, don't you think?
Yeah, so I feel like that goes right with
Agreed.
the presentation.
Okay. All right, anything you need for Teachers Head Out, or are you good to go with that, do you think?
I think we're good with all the information we have.
The demo accounts will help with that I just sent out to everybody.
Yes, for updated images, perfect.
Correct. So you guys have, I'm going to put demo accounts sent. Sorry, people bug me. Did you see my face? Like, seriously? Okay, I'll get over it. Okay. Okay, so demo account information sent. Demo account information sent for use and images. Perfect. All right. How does, and maybe it doesn't, do you think the images that Jen started sharing on that attendance app, Daisha, fit into any of this?
The images, I don't know. Well, the links.
It's not links because it's all on your phone.
Well, but the phone takes you to the video. So I don't know that there was images so much that I would want. But there's some of them could be pulled into that presentation for like checklist for the day for the attendance piece of it for sure.
So can we go in, is there any, maybe that's what we need to get Bonnie, because she's so good at that, but trying to get a family to allow us to use their login information to capture some of that? What do you think?
Yeah,
Ben's got that one family, but
yeah, Bonnie has a couple.
I feel like Bonnie would be able to get permission to do that. Can we?
Yeah.
I feel like that would be helpful for that attendance app, don't you think?
Yeah, so you're looking for images that...
I don't know if I'm looking for, my question, I mean, it was brought up at our last meeting. Do we need to do anything with that is really the question. Because we talked about it yesterday, and I thought felt at that meeting we needed that. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. I just am trying to hone in on exactly, are you wanting images to sort of take them to that app, or like how to use that app, or?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll get her
I just don't know if we need to. Do you know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
how important is that in the information that we're presenting? Is that an important piece of Get Set for Success? I don't know if it is or not, but
it's less important for Get Set. It's probably more important for Get Ready.
Get
but
Ready.
I think it goes hand in hand because attendance is such a vital piece, and we have so many that hit our fast track because of attendance only. So I think the more we push that app and how easy it is to use and make it that go-to.
And I don't think it's an attendance app. I think it's the enrollment application. Enrollment K-12. It's like the K-12 app. It's not the attendance.
Correct.
K-12
I think we'll
app.
reference it, and then also, I mean, because the videos are there, the links are there. It takes them to all the helpful tools. So we might as well push that a little.
Yeah. So maybe that becomes part of the learning coach checklist. You could say, have you checked your K-12 app for progress?
Right.
Maybe that's really what it comes down to. So I don't know if you need images. You're right, because they should, all the other images we should be collecting in that other place, right?
Right.
But
it can be part of the presentation and part of the what we reference, that kind of thing. That's perfect.
Okay. Okay, so you guys are doing this demo kind of information. Is there anything else you need for this piece? Get ready for your courses?
I don't think so. I think my only question is there seemed to be confusion with the course readiness. So in my mind, that was the online learning and welcome to online learning.
Yeah.
And we wanted.
I don't know if that's it. I feel like the course, somebody brought that up. I feel like course readiness was how do you prepare your child for the day, or how do you prepare to start school that day?
Okay.
I feel like there's a course readiness in each. Is there a course ready? I feel like there's a course readiness section that shows you how to prepare your materials, how to do that type of stuff. I think that's what this is.
Yes, there is one in the Get Ready. So then I can make this more specific for the day, not
the timeout. When you say there is one in Get Ready, part of Get Ready is the OLL ORN. That's one piece. That's definitely how to get ready for
And
school.
Julie's doing that, right? And Bonnie helped her with that information.
So the course readiness, preparing for the day, I think is a separate thing.
Okay.
Are we also? I don't think we're doing that in Get Ready. Are we? I don't know.
I think when you put completing course readiness, I took that as the course readiness course.
So let's call this something different. How about if we just call this preparing for lessons for the day or something like that? Perfect. Preparing for the school day. Maybe that's exactly what it looks like. Preparing for the school day.
Which is the one I think goes hand in hand with that handout and the presentation.
Agreed. Yes, I think that's what, 100% agree. That's what that is, not course readiness like the OLL or that type of thing. Yeah. Yeah, how to get ready for your day. What is your schedule? I mean, part of that's got to be what's your schedule look like? Do you have a master schedule? What is your schedule? What are your online I mean, you know the drill on that. So, yeah, I think that's all part. I think this is one big chunk of attendance habits, I think this is all, what does excellent attendance and engagement look like in our habits? What are the good habits that we need? So part of that is making sure you're ready to go to school that day. Do you have all your books? Do you have all your materials, right? You have your backpack filled. We always send our kids out with a backpack, right? If they're in brick and mortar. We have our folders that show, okay, the work that's completed. Remember, I'm going back, I'm having a flashback to my child, but you had a folder. On one side was what you took home to complete. The other side was what you returned to the teacher, right? So same idea. Do you have your backpack ready for your teachers at school, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how you translate that, but yeah, it is kind of like that, right?
I'll find a way.
Get your backpack ready. So that's exactly what it means. You're getting your backpack ready to go to school for that day. Your notebooks are in there. Do you have a pen and a pencil? Okay, I'm exaggerating, but
I like it.
Your virtual backpack,
right?
Yeah. I can
lot
think of a little picture.
Yep.
A little Canva virtual backpack.
Yeah.
Because we spend a lot of time drawing those correlations between order and our setting. Where school, you wouldn't send your kid to school without a backpack.
No, or
school supplies.
Exaggerating, but you wouldn't send them without school supplies. You wouldn't send them without their homework completed, right? Because you need to make sure that's done. you wouldn't send them without lunch. I'm exaggerating, obviously, but right? I mean, you plan your day. When is your lunch going to be? You've got to plan out when's that going to happen. So it's like packing your backpack for your kid for the day when you send them to school.
I like that analogy. I think it really hits home and it makes it easy to understand.
Yeah.
I think parents need that too, because this is such a like jumping into the deep end of the unknown. They don't know what they're swimming in. They just really don't. So I think if we connect it with this is what it's like to a brick and mortar, I think they'll do really well with that.
You know, it reminds me of those crosswalk standards we used to have. If you did this in the Arizona standards, now in the Common Core, it looks like this, and it had literally a crosswalk that went across. And I feel like we need a crosswalk from brick and mortar to virtual. Like this is
that's kind of I got a little bit of goosies on that one, CJ, quite honestly.
That's a pretty good. I think that goes really well with the myth busting sort of one that we're working on now. So that would be a really easy way to change that visual or add to it.
Or something along the lines of like, these are the items you might pack for your backpack in going to a brick and mortar. These are the items that you'd pack for your backpack.
We might have multiple because I really like both of those scenarios.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah, absolutely. Yay, I love this team. Okay. So let me know if you need anything else. We kind of went down a rabbit hole. I like the rabbit holes I go into, so thanks for joining me. That was like down here. Do I need to put that down here? Do we want to like, let me add that in here. How to pack.
Virtual backpack, virtual crosswalk.
And
I think only the people who spent time in the classrooms using all those different standards are going to understand the crosswalk, but I think we can draw a parallel that parents will understand.
Oh, definitely. And ours was a bridge. We had a bridge, which is almost the same thing.
Crosswalk. I feel like we did a crosswalk.
Ours was a crosswalk.
What is your virtual crosswalk from brick and mortar to virtual schooling?
I keep thinking of some kind of riff on that Beatles Abbey Way crosswalk.
Oh yes.
You know, we've got kids schooling in their pajamas. We've got an LC.
Oh my God, I love that.
You know what I mean? I just keep thinking like it's Abbey Road, right?
Abbey Road. Yeah. That is so funny.
But it's a classic.
Yeah.
Us, not to kids these days. Not all kids.
Oh, my 14-year-old is all about the Beatles.
Yeah, my 23-year-old, she knows them better than the Stones.
But the 10-year-olds are not. They're slow, but not as
you know what's funny is there's that new movie that's come out. Like the guy, all of a sudden, have you seen the advertisements for that movie? I forget what it's called, but this guy, like, he's the only one that knows about the Beatles in the entire world.
Oh, yes.
So he starts making all the Beatles songs and it becomes this like humongous sensation. He's like, what do you mean these guys don't know the Beatles? And you see this little picture of people are thinking about a Beatles. Yeah, it's a whole new movie. It's coming out. I don't know when it's coming out.
I may need to see that.
It looks really funny, actually. I feel like the guy who did Slumdog Millionaire is either created it. It's somewhere along the line of that. It looks really funny.
You know what it sounds like? The invention of lying, where there's only one guy on the entire planet who can lie, and he runs around like becomes a pathological liar and sends his entire community into chaos because people believe him because no one's capable of lying.
Oh my gosh, I've not heard of that. It's funny. Yeah, it's actually a movie that's coming out this summer. So who knows? Maybe everyone will know the Beatles. I don't know.
They will when we're done.
There you go.
For some
that's actually really funny. That's a very awesome. I like that. All right, so let me know what else you need on that one. How to engage in live classroom sessions. Jenny, you were already talking about that. So
yeah, I if you don't mind.
No, not at all.
I just wrote some cliff notes that I thought were.
Do you want me to stop sharing? Do you want to share or do you want to
No.
Yeah, okay.
No, you can share.
Perfect.
I'm just going to read.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure how many emails I sent out, but I got about 10 responses back. So I believe I sent out about 10 to 15 emails and got 10 responses back. I have a sample of kindergarten through 12th grade, including 2 sales teachers. So some of the generic things are log in early, complete audio wizard, have a working microphone. That seems to be consistent. It's something I thought about when thinking of something overall our students are missing or is often a working microphone. So we're going to need to make sure that we plant that seed in everything that we do. But some of the more juicy CJ words, juicy items I liked were, one of the teachers said, and I think this was a middle school teacher, she says that she uses the green check mark. When a student comes in, they know that they need to use the green check mark to let that teacher know that they are prepared for the day. If they are not prepared, she can help resolve some of those issues before they start their session. But I really liked that, are you prepared to learn, or are you just logging in and not knowing what to do? So I liked that idea.
So what does she do if she just sees a kid without a green check mark? Does she put him into like Antarctica land or something like that?
The term used was their own private island, which, we use that term too. And when they are in their own island, they work out the issue. So I guess, she puts them in a breakout room so that they can resolve their.
And they probably know what that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
The kids know that information. Yeah.
So I like that, because a lot of the teachers that we work with throughout the school year, you see they just kick kids out who maybe logged in. And so I thought that was important. Another one that I liked, make good use of your time when you're in live sessions by being present.
Did they explain and define what being present means?
Yes, they did. Ask questions, engage in conversations, and take ownership of goals.
What was the last one?
Take ownership of goals.
Love that. Is that a high school teacher by chance?
It was a high school teacher. And then
Sounds high schooly.
The few, that's what I know. The few smaller end items are items like raising hand, sharing on the microphone, sharing in the chat box, knowing how to use tools appropriately. These were all consistent for all of the teachers. And then actively listening.
It's good.
And those were my Cliff Notes.
So let me ask a question. This is a rabbit hole again. Do you think our students know what it means to be an active listener? And if they don't, is that another opportunity for like a sub training or something like that?
I would say overall they don't. And even in a brick and mortar school, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know even. I was just going to say, I don't think it's just our kids, but yeah.
I mean, if all students knew how to be an active listener, we wouldn't have, the issues that we have with a lot of students. So I do believe that that's definitely a subtopic. And then the other one, which we already have these materials, using the tools appropriately. This takes me back to when we were doing when I first came into your team and you guys were doing the orientations differently. And that was one of them. So those two things, I think.
We're definitely doing the tools in the Get Ready to Connect, right? That's a Get Ready to Connect session on Blackboard.
Perfect.
And how to use the tools and everything like that. So that one we're definitely attacking in that piece.
So then the active listening and being present, those kind of remind me of the mindsets.
Yeah, it is. It is a little bit like that. Yeah.
These are
so log in early, the audio check, that should all be Get Ready.
Okay.
That should all be pieces of that, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like your piece in this live classroom session is really, you can go through some of this as you can have I'm seeing an infographic, quick little infographic, how to get ready for classes. And that might be already being produced in the other session. But what I see is this expanding out into
the substance, right?
The substance, like what does it mean to be prepared? What does it mean to let your teacher know you're ready to learn? Do you guys agree?
That was what I thought too. Yeah. I liked those.
And I think this one's easy to pull in to all of the fun sessions that we'll have.
Okay.
So training by default, that sneak attack, like what's your favorite burger? And then they have to use their tools to do it. So they are interacting with you, but they're learning the tools at the same time. And as long as we're strategic with using the tools, so for me, that would be part of that, like weekly getting them into their classrooms, not so much its own set training piece. But I do love the infographic idea.
So what about active listening? Like how can we, you could do that, the sneak attack, right? I mean, that's it. Modeling that a little bit.
Yeah. That's such a hard thing because you put any kid in front of a TV or an adult. How many adults are sitting here only looking at you talking and not working on something else at their keyboard? Like 0%. So it's hard for them. So really the only thing we can do is like model it and reinforce it and engage them. If they're engaged, they're actively listening. If they're not.
Well, and maybe you could put of what you maybe could create, and there might be already an infographic of what is active listening. I probably there's somebody in this world has created an infographic on active listening.
Okay, I will look.
Probably guarantee you that.
Teachers, it really comes down to if they see them interacting in the chat box and they see little emojis pop up or the little hands clapping. If they see something going on, they count that as actively listening. That's all they're looking for is some sort of engagement, interaction, really. Okay. Otherwise, they can't expect, feet on the floor, eyes focused on the presenter, answering questions at any time because it doesn't happen. And it doesn't happen in brick and mortar. It doesn't happen with adults.
No, the difference in brick and mortar is you go up and you tap Timmy's desk and say, Timmy, hello, or you make Timmy go up to the whiteboard.
Or you let them fidget.
Well, that's true.
Some kids work fine fidgeting. So, I mean, I guess that one's so weird.
Oh, how special education of you, Daisha.
Yeah.
So, we could also piggyback this with going back to being prepared, making sure that your workspace is not cluttered, making sure you are not playing Roblox and texting your friends at the same time.
It could be a fun Powtoon.
Minecraft is not, Minecraft is great to do for a break, but it's not great to do when you're trying to learn, in school. Yeah. Okay.
So that is what I have on that.
Awesome. Crystal, you were doing how to connect with school, opt in for texting, blah, blah, blah. How are we doing on that one?
I am working on a handout in Publisher right now. And I will just say, while we were talking about that infographic, I Googled it. For active listening, there's...
so you were not actively listening.
I know. I was multitasking.
And I'm just
pulled right up.
There's a lot of, I bet there is. I bet there's a lot that we can use. And it doesn't hurt to have those. You can pull down, as long as they're not copyrighted, we should be able to borrow those and use those. I would
and just make it specific for our situation.
Yeah. Or we can take their information and turn it into our own Powtoon or something and, pay attention, look at who's talking, ask questions, follow directions, stuff like that. So, anyway, I am making a handout for that. I have the link on there for opting in. I added Skype on there, Daisha.
Because we got permission for K-5, right? That's wonderful.
So, because high school, I know Insight uses Skype with their advisors.
And middle school could, but don't often.
I would suggest, can we do this, Daisha, before, as part of our checkout for the team, this is just an aside, get everybody to set up a Skype business. It's different than what we have, but everyone should create a Skype account before they leave, because that should become part of their signature line.
The business account.
Say that again, Jenny?
Different than what we're
it's a separate account.
Okay.
Yeah, it's different. What it's called.
So it's just Skype, but you log in with. So I have 2 apps on my phone, even though I don't use our link Skype for Business on my phone. But you're going to log in with your azva.org email, and our teacher one is through our K-12 email.
Okay.
So it's 2 different accounts.
Oh, I didn't realize that's how they did that. So they set up a Skype account.
Yep.
With their so I need to do that then.
And so then it's called like a lot of the names are like Teacher Daisha or Mrs. whatever. It's It's whatever they're called in the classroom or what they're, what they see.
Okay.
So when we have our checkout meeting, we should probably add that. Do you agree, Daisha, or do we want to just wait till they get back from summer? It doesn't matter when it happens, but
Yeah, it doesn't.
it really,
It's easy to add.
Easy to add to the signature line, so it might as well be part of the checkout.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. But I can't get mine done until I get an AZVA account.
You cannot. Let me follow up. I have an email out to that. Let me check and see about from Nicole where that is. I'll follow up. I did send an email out for both. Well, Kimberly's active, so you're the only one that doesn't have one. So
it's just mine because I've only been Insight. So
I know.
That's okay.
Well, I still need to confirm that she can still use. I mean, I know she says it's active. I just need to make sure that she can still use that as her teacher login. So I'll follow up. So you may be our one-off, Crystal.
That's okay.
You're a little off anyhow, so it all fits. I'm kidding you.
Oh my goodness.
I know, crazy lady. All right, so Shannon is not here. She is out, so we'll get a follow-up on her next time. Did she give anybody, I didn't get an update from her at all, but I didn't ask for an update, quite honestly, before she left, so shame on me.
Yeah, I know she was working on things, but I don't know where she is.
Yeah. Crystal, you were working on graduation and what do credits mean?
And I have a limited amount of information. I did look in the AZVA high school handbook. I was looking at that for information in there. All of the Insight counselors are offline. I don't know why, but they're offline. So I did reach out to an advisor for some more information on that. But it's a process. We'll figure it out.
AZVA counselors, they're going to be offline as of Friday, so you may want to reach out to them like today.
I need to get a list of their name or search for their names probably. So and send an email to them.
Do we have anything that is a video from K-12? So I'd like to, and I don't know the answer, so that's why I'm asking this, that shows how you look at your grad plan. Is there anything that K-12 has developed that we've seen?
I feel like there was one.
I know I've seen one, but I can't remember if it's K-12 or if it was one of our teachers that did it.
Okay.
I think there was a K-12 one on the K-12, that.
Oh, there was, yes, on that K-12 website. And it is different than how our teachers are saying to look at it.
Okay.
But yes, I think it's more complicated on the K-12 one, but it works. You're absolutely right. It is there.
So should we take a look at that, or should we look at what our staff is saying to do? Because that should be a piece of this, don't you think? How do you check your grad plan? Are we doing that here, or is that in the other section? Maybe that's in the other grow section.
Yeah, that'd be more grow. I could see it both.
I think we have it in the growth plan, how to check your grad plan.
I suggest, Crystal, that you take that video and then just send an email to a few people and ask them if they could take a moment and look at that video and how they would alter that or suggestions they would make to that to be more pertinent to what we do.
And if you can't get response, it's going to be, where our window's short, right? Yeah. But you may get responses from teachers. I don't know. But if you can't get, don't stress about it.
And do we know where that video is? Do y'all have saved?
K-12.
Oh, I can look and send it to you if you want.
Okay, thank you, Jenny. I went through on my email. I don't think I have that saved anymore. So.
No, it's in that, the website we were talking about. Yeah, the K-12 tech support.
Oh, okay.
I think it's also in the K-12 training, but I don't think it was assigned.
CJ, what was
Did we put that in for K-12 training? We should all probably.
I found quite a few of them, but I don't know if that one was one of them.
Okay.
I heard my name.
Okay.
Crystal, I found it. It's help.k12.com. Okay. Where all those videos are.
Yeah, I have spent a lot of time in this section.
I will take a look and email it to you because I am pretty sure I saw it when I was browsing them for my own enjoyment.
We've got a lot of good information in there, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So my piece was academic decline, academic probation. I am starting to have meetings from K-12 today, and I don't have to throw everything out, but some of the things that we had talked about, we will be kind of tossing out based on some of the meetings. I'm going back to make sure I hear what I heard early this morning. So I'm in the middle of figuring out what K-12 is going to require for this.
Okay.
The tech piece, this is really Team and Robert, right? Isn't Robert doing a lot of this already?
Yes.
Mhm.
And the other.
Okay. And then the last piece is Learning Coach University. Do you have anything you need from us, CJ, or anything from that standpoint?
Not yet. I guess not
Okay.
until materials developed, and
Right.
even then, I want to keep it really CCQ. You know, just
Right.
you know,
Right.
clear, concise, and quick.
Okay. I like that. Okay.
CC.
That was about it. Is there anything else that we need to be talking about or taking a look at? All right. I like it. Quick and painless. All righty. Well, I think that's it. I'll send out the recorded link. Did we set up the completed folder? We didn't talk about that like we did in the other group. On Team Drive, in our team folder, are we going to have a completed folder in there that we're going to, anything that's completed, we're going to stick up there?
We should.
I
Okay.
like that.
So even if you don't think it's like 100% perfect, if it's your rough draft for completed, but you want feedback, throw whatever you're working on like that in that completed folder. And then there's already an editing sheet so that anyone on our team and or the other teams can add feedback to. And then they would just look at whatever's in that folder and then put feedback on the editing sheet. Very smart.
So
Like
as
if
you start getting stuff, yeah.
yeah, put it in there. If it's a link to a Animoto, put it in there so that people can start, providing feedback or whatever.
So like Crystal, what would be really good, some of those infographics that you found, grab them and throw them up in our team drive. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, but they don't necessarily need to go in the completed folder.
No. It'd just be resources.
Yeah.
Like a
Okay.
resources folder or something like that. Because other people may like say, oh, wow, that's a really good thing. I'll look at that for.
And look at the other team drives, the Get Ready and the Grow, because we're Get Set, right? Yeah, look at the Get Ready and the Grow, because they also have some things that you may want or feel is helpful. So look at all of them because you might find stuff already found for you.
Yeah, because Julie set up a whole bunch of those K-12 videos. She's got a whole sheet up there that has a whole mess of those K-12 videos that are already up there as a resource. So that might be a great place as you're going and starting to look at this, go look at the other folders. Maybe that's the first line of attack first to see what other people have found. Yeah. So we don't I don't want people doing two things, the same thing, just two different ways. That doesn't make sense. So, all right, very good. All right, everyone. Well, let me know if you guys need anything. Thank you.
Thank
Liz,
you.
Yeah.
I just need a minute of your time after everyone.
Perfect. Sounds good. I am going to go ahead and let me stop the recording real quick.